The police is trying to arrest me because I bought a phone from the dark web. Part 2. Hey Reddit, it's me again. I appreciate all the support and advice you gave me after my last post. I've been trying to keep it together, but things have only gotten worse. Much worse. After the police visit, I decided to stay with a friend for a while. I didn't tell him the full story, just that I had some issues with my phone and needed a place to crash. He was cool about it, though I could tell he was curious. I tried to act normal, but it was hard to keep the paranoia at bay. A few nights ago, something happened that I can't shake. I was sleeping in my friend's guest room when I woke up to a faint noise. It sounded like a phone vibrating, but I had turned mine off and left it in my drawer at home. I sat up and listened, my heart pounding. The sound was coming from the closet. I got out of bed and slowly opened the closet door. Inside, on the top shelf, was an old beat-up phone I'd never seen before. It was vibrating like crazy, lighting up the dark closet with each buzz. I hesitated, then reached up and grabbed it. The screen was cracked, and it looked ancient, but the messages were clear as day. They said, "We know where you are. You can't hide." I dropped the phone like it was on fire and stumbled back. How had it gotten there? Who was sending these messages? I ran out of the room and locked myself in the bathroom, trying to calm down. I didn't want to wake my friend, but I couldn't stay in that house any longer. I needed to leave. I packed my things and left a note for my friend, telling him I had an emergency and would explain later. I drove around aimlessly, too scared to go home. I ended up at a cheap motel on the outskirts of town. It wasn't much, but it felt safer than staying at my friend's place. The next day, I went back to my house to pick up some essentials. As soon as I walked in, I could feel that something was off. The air felt heavy and there was an eerie silence. I went straight to my room and opened the drawer where I had left my phone. It was gone. I searched the entire house, but there was no sign of it. Then I noticed something that made my blood run cold. There were new photos in the gallery on my laptop, photos taken from the missing phone. They were of me, at my friend's house, asleep in the guest room, and even one of me finding the old phone in the closet. I was being watched. Someone was tracking my every move. I had no idea how they were doing it, but it was clear that they were always one step ahead of me. I couldn't trust anyone or anything. I felt completely alone. I started staying at different motels each night, never in one place for too long. I paid in cash and used fake names, but it didn't seem to matter. They always found me. The calls and messages continued, no matter what phone I used. I tried to change numbers, but it was useless. They were always there. One night, I woke up to find my motel room door slightly ajar. I know I had locked it. My heart was in my throat as I crept to the door and peered out into the hallway. It was empty. But when I turned back, I saw something that made my stomach churn. There was a message scrawled on the bathroom mirror in what looked like blood. "You can't escape us." I left the motel in a hurry, not bothering to pack my things. I drove for hours, not knowing where to go. I ended up in a small, rural town, hoping I could hide there for a while. But the feeling of being watched never left me. Every time I saw a police car, I was sure it was there for me. Every stranger I passed on the street felt like they were in on it. In my desperation, I decided to visit an old friend who worked in cybersecurity. I hadn't spoken to him in years, but I hoped he could help me figure out what was going on. When I explained my situation, he looked at me like I was crazy, but he agreed to take a look at my devices. After hours of digging, he found something. My phone, laptop, and even my car's GPS had all been compromised. Someone had installed tracking software that allowed them to monitor everything I did. My friend tried to trace it back to its source, but he hit a dead end. Whoever was behind this was extremely skilled and had covered their tracks well. He advised me to ditch all my electronics and go off the grid for a while. It was the only way to ensure I wouldn't be found. He gave me some cash and wished me luck. I could see the pity in his eyes, but I was beyond caring. I just wanted this nightmare to end. I've been living like a ghost for the past few weeks, constantly moving, never staying in one place for too long. I avoid people as much as possible and only use cash. But it's getting harder. I'm running out of money, and the stress is taking its toll. I can't keep living like this. The worst part is the dreams. They're more vivid and terrifying than ever. I see those faceless figures watching me, hear their whispers growing louder. They tell me I can't escape, that they'll find me no matter what. I wake up screaming, drenched in sweat, convinced that someone is in the room with me. I don't know how much longer I can take this. I'm at my breaking point. If anyone has any more advice or knows anything that could help, please let me know. I'm desperate. I don't want to end up another dark web horror story.